So in this video, I'm going to show you what you can do right now if you've been seeing your results drop pretty quickly on Meta ads, and what we are doing to make sure that we're staying on top of this and not wasting unnecessary ad spend on unprofitable campaigns. So in this video, I'll show you one really easy strategy that you can apply to your campaigns to make sure that you ensure that you won't spend your budget unless you get profitable spend during this time period. And it's extremely important now coming up in Q4. If you're new to the channel, my name is Oli. I run Strand Media, a performance marketing agency, helping e-commerce and info product businesses scale on Meta. And this channel is just where I share the lessons and learnings that I have along the way. So if you're interested in seeing more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe and also leave a comment if you have any questions to this video. So as you can see on my screen here, you can see that the CPM cost over the last few months, especially since September until early November, has been going steadily upwards. And the thing here that I see some advertisers mistake is that they think their ads are failing, that there's something in their control. But one thing when you troubleshoot your campaigns, you should always look at the CPMs as well, because sometimes the external changes in the advertising landscape can really affect your performance. And if it does, and you start making a lot of changes because you think it's your ads not working anymore, then you can make changes that are going to ruin your results. So when the CPMs come back down, you would maybe have made some changes, turn off some ads, start introducing new ads, even though those ads that you previously had will still be winners. It was just that the CPM during this time period was too high. So definitely keep that in mind when you make changes. Make sure you have an understanding of what factor is affecting your results. Is it something in your control? Or is it something external that you cannot control inside your ads manager? So as you can see, as the CPM is increasing, you can see at the same time, on average, the ROAS in a dollar amount is decreasing. So the campaigns are just becoming less efficient, and we're not able to keep them at the same volume anymore. At the same time, when we look at the cost per click, you can see it's also going up almost parallel to the CPMs. But if we look at the outbound click-through rate, which is just the click-through rate, it's just a better metric to look at. You can see that this one is fluctuating, but it has no correlation to the rising CPM cost. So actually, as the CPM is trending upwards, you can actually see in this case that the outbound click-through rate is also going up. So because we see that the outbound click-through rate is not steadily declining, that is also a sign that it's not the ads that are not effective. The ratio between impression and somebody clicking on the ad is still the same. It's not changing. So that means that the only thing that's really affecting the results in this case is the increase in how expensive the traffic is becoming. So you spend the same money, but you get less traffic, not because of your ads, but just because of the price of that traffic. And as you can see, when we look on a day-to-day basis, you can see the outbound click-through rate does fluctuate a lot on a day-to-day basis, but on average, you can see the trend line for that metric is staying pretty even. So what is the solution in a situation like this for you as an advertiser? Well, the first thing you need to understand is as your traffic is becoming more expensive, the only way we can really compensate for that is by increasing the conversion rate from the traffic that you are generating. So because we are paying the same amount in ad spend, but we're getting less traffic for the same money, the only way that we can make sure that we're still staying as profitable as we were previously, or even maybe more profitable, is by compensating by increasing the conversion rate. So the way to do that is obviously improving your offer. So the reason why the CPMs go up so much during this time period is because so many businesses will be able to continue to spend a lot of money because their conversion rate does increase so much, because when they're launching their Black Friday or Cyber Monday offer, a lot more people are going to take action on it. So they can still continue to spend a lot of money on their ads, and it's not affecting their overall results that much because they're compensating with the conversion rate. But if you're just planning on continuing to run with your evergreen ads and you don't have a plan to set up any Black Friday or Cyber Monday ads or offers, in that case, I'm now going to show you a strategy that you can apply to protect your profitability throughout this time period when a lot of people are going to spend a lot more on ads because they have a higher conversion rate, but you will not do that, but you still want to protect your profitability. So as you can see, I'm now inside one of my clients' ad accounts, and I'm just going to show you an example of what we are doing to protect the profitability of this evergreen campaign during the rest of Q4. So as you can see here, we're not using the default bid strategy. When you set up a campaign, you would automatically be using the highest volume bid strategy. But in this case, as you can see, we're using a ROAS goal. So if I go into the campaign and I scroll down, you can see that the campaign bid strategy is set to ROAS goal. And when we go onto the ad set, you can see that we put in a ROAS goal of 1.5. So that essentially means that we want to make sure that if we're hitting a ROAS below 1.5, we do not want to let Meta continue to spend our daily budget. We want to make sure we only really pay for an impression if Meta thinks it's likely we can get that impression into a conversion that eventually would lead to a 1.5 ROAS or higher. So what does that mean when you start using it? Well, when you start using the ROAS goal bid strategy, it's not like you immediately start seeing a 1.5 ROAS in this case. There will be days where your ROAS is below, and there will be days where your ROAS is over. Essentially, what the algorithm is trying to do is average you out over a 7-day time period, because in this case, you can see the attribution setting is set to 7-day click. So we'll try to get us to a 1.5 7-day click ROAS within that 7-day time period. So that might mean some days you're above, but also some days you might definitely see that you're below, which is very, very common. And as you can see, the reason why we're applying the ROAS goal bid strategy is because we really want to make sure that we don't go below the 1.5 ROAS. This week it actually was below, but it then compensates by going above again. So the longer of a time period you can look at, the more likely it is that you will get the most out of this bid strategy. Now, if you're having multiple different SKUs or multiple different offers with different price points, ROAS goal would be the best because you're trying to hit a ROAS. If you were to aim for a specific amount per conversion, then that might not be totally aligned with what you ultimately want, because some of your orders, for example, if you're doing e-commerce, could be of much higher value. So that's what you want to optimize for. And if you get some high value orders in and your ROAS does increase, then you want to be able to continue to spend. But if you only were to bid on a cost per result basis, then even though you had some big orders coming through and making your overall ROAS better, it would still not help the bid strategy. So you would still find it hard to make the campaign spend your money. However, if you're selling just a one type of product, or all of your products are priced the same with the same margin, what you can be looking into is using the cost per result goal. And as you can see here in this campaign for one of our clients, we've set the cost per result goal to a specific amount because that's the max we're willing to pay to get a conversion. And that's also something you can use if you don't want to use the ROAS goal. One downside of the ROAS goal is that because of those big orders that sometimes come through and inflates your ROAS, that might also make the campaign spend when it actually shouldn't spend as much. Specifically, if you have a big outlier, that can make your ROAS inflated over a week, even though most of the conversions you got in were unprofitable. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. But at the end of the day, we also, if we are consistently seeing these big inflating offers coming into your e-commerce business, then that's also at some point something you kind of need to rely on to be able to continue to spend profitably, but also on the back end should be able to increase the lifetime value of those lower value orders coming in, so that overall those inflating orders that come into your store is kind of helping you, just making sure that you can continue to get in a consistent flow of new customers into your business and continue to grow long term. So it definitely depends, but if you can't get the cost per result goal bid strategy to work, then you might consider going to ROAS goal. So if you found this video valuable, make sure to give it a like. I would highly appreciate that. And if you have any questions to anything that I've talked about in this video, make sure to leave it in the comments below. And if you want to potentially work with us and let us help you scale your business, you can apply to work with us with the link in the description of this video below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.